And welcome back to Vampyr. We just started with chapter 3, but we also have a bunch of side missions we can do. Also older ones from previous chapters. But the thing is, we were not strong enough for them. Like, downstairs somewhere there is a vampire we have to eliminate. And he... well... was too strong last time we found him, or we encountered him, but this time we could be strong enough, so we can check it out. And we also have other side missions. I hate tippets. He also has some business to do. He runs upstairs. We did not manage to eavesdrop on him. Next time he's upstairs we can do it, because I have an idea from where we can do it. But it doesn't seem like he's going to go upstairs so far.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to
Goodbye.
Ah, yes, the eavesdrop symbol now. Okay, now I know where to go. Well, I think I know where to go. Just go this way. Well, this might be wrong, but somewhere else. Ah, fuck! No, he stopped doing this. Fuck you, you son of a bitch! I guess because we went too far away. Yeah, what the fuck is this now?
Disguised as a hospital. That's a pattern nowadays.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Yeah, then fuck him, he now makes a huge round.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Okay. Guess he wants to later because he doesn't want to do it again. Sounds a bit like back in the days. Goethe also wrote this book, Die Leiden des jungen Werther. Not sure how they call it in English. The Suffering of Young Werther or something, I don't know. But it also was about a guy who killed himself because he didn't get the love of his life. And after that, many people killed themselves too, young people, because they were influenced by this book. Goethe was kind of an influencer then. I think they even banned the book for some time then, because they did not want the young people to kill themselves. Not 100% sure, but I think it was like this. And later on, and then sometime, they also made it legal again.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust. It's locked.
It's a tough choice who to give the letter. I'm not sure if he still wants to kill himself. Give it to him, then maybe he kills himself. If you give it to the mother, maybe then it would be bad. Because he loses our trust. We lose his trust. But I guess we give it to him. I mean, it's his choice after all. This makes you want to go Assassin's Creed on those guys. Huh? Dude, the fucking game loads so much when you start the game or when you change the district. Should not load in between also.
I'm all right.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help.
and for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor. For I waited for so long, hoping that the next minute would be less unbearable.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivations for committing suicide. Tell me more about what you know.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place, but couldn't.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture, nor was it his first attempt.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before. But I never thought he would dare to punish me this much.
Punish you? Why?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Goodbye, Mrs.
I will not let you down, Mike.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Your mother won't let you down, Mortimer. Don't you share her hope for a better future?
No. I don't.
Won't you even try?
Do you want me to promise you I'll get better? Do you want me to tell her the same thing? I could, but it would not change anything.
I have...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed,
Goodbye. Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fella.
There we go. By the way, it's really hard to find, at least in Germany, long trench coats and long coats like these ones. Okay, it's not, but you know what I mean, normal trench coats or coats, long coats. They always tell you it's not in fashion, so we don't have it. But I don't really care about what's in fashion. I just care about my own taste, you know. But they say no, it's not in fashion, so we don't have it. Search forever for those things. I'm wondering if I always miss those crates or if there always are new ones. I mean, it's cool that you always get new stuff, but still it's strange. Somewhere here must have been the place. Here, yes. Finally.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my consumption.
Goodbye, Doctor.
I wasted too much energy for so little.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tell me, nurse, did you know Dr. Tippett was addicted to medication?
I suspected this behavior for some time, but never dared to ask him about it. Until the day he confessed to me.
Do you approve of his addiction?
Of course I don't approve. But I understand he needs it to fight the exhaustion. Let's hope he'll stop injecting himself once the epidemic is over.
And what if he doesn't?
Then we'll have to convince him to stop. I believe he's still in control of his addiction, for now, but we must remain vigilant.
Why would he confess to you about his addiction, Nurse Brannigan?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide anything from a nurse? We're always there, even if you don't notice us.
Do you consider yourselves our confessors, Nurse Brannigan?
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reed. But I'm intrigued. How did you discover Dr. Tippett's secret?
What can I say? I seem to have a knack for discovering secrets.
And for hiding them as well.
Goodbye. Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed,
Goodbye. I need to talk to you, Ed.
Please do so.
So you...
Yeah.
We'll talk...
also so fucked up that when you take the skill from the menu that you have to wait a minute. I mean, what the fuck? Just annoying. I mean, you take it from there when you need it and you want to try it one time. I mean, especially stealth skill. Something you don't need so often, but just when you want to dodge a few guards. Don't want to fight not now. And the motherfuckers make you wait. 8 seconds and you can go. So tough after all, ne? Gut, at least dropped some goodies.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
To us! Watch it! It's a killer!
It's nice, of course, that they don't level with you is very good. Otherwise, it would be very. I mean, you could imagine that later on that the spawn strong enemies would be a pain in the ass again, but so far it's good that so far it doesn't happen. Because those guys, they were, like you know from previous streams, we were a pain in the ass, but now not so tough after all.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal... poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague. but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
You have my support, Dr. Strickland. I know exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease, with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
I don't know, I have the ingredients, but it will, I mean, sodium, blah blah, ferrous I have enough, I have everything. Potassium permanganate. Ach, this they mean, okay.
Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Aykroyd.
Yeah, but short break.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And
I have managed to improve the mixture by diluting it. Have you ever heard of Sir Joseph Francis Olive? Or the placebo effect?
no, I don't think so. Why?
A placebo is a substance or procedure that has no actual physical effect.
You made a placebo of my project. Why?
Research has established that a placebo, as long as the subject believes in the effect, can provoke a positive physiological reaction.
Really? That's fascinating. And you want me to, what, administer the placebo and see what occurs?
Something like that, yes.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Dr. Reed. Please take the key to my cabinet and put this placebo there for future use.
Goodbye,
I'm quite...
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. But I deserve this promotion. And I don't consider it anything but well-earned.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Thank you for your time.
That's still more coming. How can we be sure we're making...
Good evening.
And good evening to you.
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Goodbye. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right. At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this formula.
Children, Ellen. As for me,
Good evening.
I'm okay.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Goodbye.
sweet girl. Read to me like a book.
I'm quite...
Thank you for your... Good evening. And good evening. Goodbye, Doc.
I think it's just a bit strange that he told him it is a placebo. Because now he knows there's nothing in it. I thought he would like just say, it's just... But it doesn't tell him so that he thinks himself it's a placebo, you know. Or that it's a placebo for himself, so more or less. But yeah. So let's make this mission for a dead woman. Did not know this was open, but I wouldn't have killed her so far. On the other hand, she couldn't give more XP, I guess. But not sure. And let's do this for honor.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
I always kind of think, or I don't think, but have this impulse that you can get collectibles or stuff, or health stuff and things, you know, through this vampire vision, but because it's like this in most other games, but here it is not like this. Which is not entirely bad, because then you don't run around all the time with this view. Of course, that's very annoying in other games. Like I think in Halo it's sometimes on this one Halo game, and in other games. Oh yes, in Tomb Raider it was extreme. Every time you got to a new area, so basically all the time, at this fucking survival view to check if there are any things to collect. It's deeply annoying.
I need to talk.
Please do, sir.
We'll talk. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Dr.
Jonathan?
I thought it would be more unsufferable.
I'm here for you, Jonathan. If you ever need to talk.
Could I ask you some delicate questions?
Ask, and I will answer if I choose.
Where... I mean, you don't live here.
I have a house in London, where I reside with my daughter.
A daughter? Is she,
No. Charlotte is a perfectly normal young lady. And if you must know, I adopted. Perhaps you'll meet her someday.
There's so much I want to know. I mean, what? Where? Who?
Slow down, Jonathan. And please, not all questions should be answered.
Please tell me. Are you Lady Ashbury? Is that your real name?
Yes, and no. I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood. Out of pure vanity, I cannot tell you when I was born.
How do you live with the guilt?
I can't answer that, Jonathan. But we have to accept our nature. Nothing good can come of fighting who we are.
Have you killed someone you've known?
Jonathan, have you forgotten what I do here? I need to meet the men and women I kill.
Have you ever killed family?
I will not answer that. In time, perhaps.
That's a yes then.
Tell me, why do you finance this hospital?
I'm lucky to be in a privileged position to help those less fortunate. Kindness takes the edge off the years.
And are Dr. Swansea He's fine with this culling of patients.
Dr. Swansea is a man firmly rooted in the realities of the modern world. He understands what we're trying to achieve here.
If you'll forgive me, it seems a little hypocritical healing those that you may kill.
Jonathan, we are what we are, a paradox. Dead flesh with a lust for life.
And they make the same thing.
I'll see you later.
Yes, Jonathan. May I help you?
I'll... I need to talk to you.
Please do so.
Well... I have this thirst for blood.
Turn around, sir. Stop now! Driver!
dear sister. I don't know if I have the strength. Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Shouldn't you go back home, where you'll be safe?
Maybe later. But for now, I need to talk to my husband at the cemetery, Mr. Reed.
Shouldn't you go...
Maybe later.
scolding this one guy for taking money from the dead, but doing the same. Just like scolding the vampire girl, a woman there, Lady Ashbury, by doing the same.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony. I can't believe I'm doing this. My mother would die if she were to see me in this state. I must wait.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You've felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
Thank you, my lady. I will.
Good. But be careful. If I found you here, others may too.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
Yeah, well, I think this is it for today, so might be guess I'm back tomorrow, so maybe until then.